BharatNet is a showcase project. We have come up with the passive infrastructure which is needed for a data center to grow. When it comes to 6G, we should be participating into global telecom scene big time from here on.
Right.
You really conquer your domestic market. Once you have proven yourself in that market, you are really at a pedestal where you can stand in front of the rest of the competition and say, look, I have done it.
Hi, I'm Danish Khan from Moneycontrol, and we are joined by Mr. Manish Gangey, who is the Executive President of HFCL, which is a telecom equipment maker, and they are into multiple categories. So welcome to the show, Manish. I want to start this podcast with your views, because you have worked with a telecom operator in the past, one of the bigger ones rather. So how do you see the Indian telecom market? Like yesterday during the speeches, we have heard how India is kind of taking a lead in 5G rollout, developing own 4G stack with plans to develop 5G also, and then taking a seat in the development of 6G standards development. So from your perspective, how do you see these developments and India's role so far?
First of all, thanks for having me, Danish, here. Well, I think from my perspective, right, I've been into the industry for last 30 years, looking at telecom up very close. I think if there was a time, if you can call something, there is a right timing for a country to really show up onto the technology scene. I think for India, this is that moment, right? And for a variety of reasons, right? And the reasons, go to last 10-15 years back as to how telecom as an industry has been developing, right? When 4G was coming around, we were really a consumer of technology. Most of the time, we were trying to buy from outside and get it out into our networks. When the 5G came, there was a significant amount of investment made by many different companies, including operators, including the equipment companies, where the focus was creating the value in India, right? Creating products, creating services around those products, and then trying to take certain value of that rollout that happens into when a new technology generation arrives. With the 5G, I believe that we were slightly behind the curve compared to the rest of the world, but at least we came out. Many of the companies, HFCL built the products for 5G, which were out there.
Right.
We have been fairly successful in deploying a significant amount of one of the services that operators have rolled out, right? Likewise, there were other companies which were building the components of this technology and getting out there in front of people. I think when we get to the next evolution, possibly we have learnt the lessons of last 10 years as to what makes sense, what we should be focusing on, what we should be building, what we should not be building, where there is a gap in terms of the skill set and things like that. We learned all of it. And I think when it comes to 6G, we should be a very, very strong player out there at the international level, right? Because domestically, of course, the market is limited.
Right.
The market is really outside of the India. Where the scales will happen, right? So I think having proven ourselves a little bit into the networks over here, learned the lessons, we should be participating into global telecom scene big time from here on.
Right. So where do you see HFCL playing this role? Because you are very big into fiber optics and then hardware also. So we have our own BharatNet project, then there are projects in US, and there are opportunities in the Europe market. So how is HFCL performing, and what sort of prospects you see for HFCL in coming years?
We're very bullish about where we are heading, right? And if you really see, for any company, especially into the systems, into the intellectual property driven businesses, you really conquer your domestic market. Once you have proven yourself in that market, you are really at a pedestal where you can stand in front of the rest of the competition and say, look, I have done it. And I have done it in a geography which is very difficult for any equipment or any service to be rolled out and managed, right? So having gone through that cycle, we feel that we will be out there in front of a lot of major telcos outside of the India, and with a story of provenness.
Right.
A lot of that will start to show up as we go along.
Right.
BharatNet is a showcase project, not just for us, but for the country as a whole, right? Somebody to be able to build a network of this size and scale for the kind of population that we are trying to address, right? And once we prove this, I think we are in a very good shape to go into other markets. There are many such markets, which have got a very similar characteristics as India.
Right.
We should be able to go and replicate the success over there.
So beyond BharatNet in India, we have tower fiberization, we have data center build-outs, now AI clouds are also kind of getting all the attention from the companies. So do you see a bigger opportunity for HFCL now?
Absolutely. I didn't touch upon that all the time. I have been talking the products business, right? But we have a very innovative, group in terms of the fiber manufacturing, fiber cable design, and a lot of innovative cable assemblies that we are bringing out, right? We already started our push into the data center market, right? I mean, you're not hearing it a whole lot because we're into active conversations on some of these customers, but we have come up with the passive infrastructure which is needed for a data center to grow. The next step for us, logical step, is also to look at the active infrastructure side, which is we are very well poised from the perspective of having built the products for the telco market, which are very intensive in terms of reliability. Data center becomes a logical place for us to go. So along with the passive infrastructure, fiberization of the tower, that will basically drive a whole lot of new build-outs.
Right.
We're also looking now at addressing data center from the switching perspective, right? If you really have to hear the exact domain that we are closely looking at, is the data center switching is very, I would say, low-hanging fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
Last question on the company's foray into, or rather, the company has been active, which is defense and aerospace. So, what sort of opportunities you see in those spaces?
Massive opportunity on defense and aerospace. Having seen what we have seen in the recent operations that our defense forces ran, one thing that we don't talk enough about, this whole operation had a backbone infrastructure running, a communication infrastructure, where a lot of inter-command coordination was running. That infrastructure we built out. Right. That was a part of one of our project that we executed. We also feel that we are poised to make a lot of non-communication infrastructure and technologies that defense forces need, right? And we have recently acquired a large parcel of land in Andhra Pradesh, where we intend to set up a massive manufacturing and testing facility for our defense ammunition kind of products. So I feel that the opportunity is right. Country is looking at indigenization. Most of the defense supplies, they would like to do it in-house, and there is a massive emphasis from the Prime Minister even yesterday, right, that how much we can build it out of India. We seem to be at the right place for that as well.
So are you showcasing these solutions to the forces and the authorities?
We did. The Aero Show in Bangalore in February, we did showcase some of our products, and was very well received by the forces as well as the other players outside. Right.
Any last comment on the IMC event? That anything special that caught your attention?
Well, I think one thing that has been very common and that seems to be resonating with everybody, and you would see there is a whole focus session on the 6G readiness, what we can do as a country, what intellectual property we need to focus on, what are the areas that we should be looking at. I feel that is what is the fulcrum at which we should start to build out. And I see that some of that is being very widely being talked here.
Right. Well, on that note, we can end this chat, and it was always a pleasure talking to you. And I hope we sit again and discuss more topics, more timely topics in future. Thank you very much, Manish.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.